Wait, how do I? Oh no, it's tight.
Yeah.
Okay, we're starting at 6:30,
6:32. I'm sorry, 5:32.
5:30.
Yes.
Calling the meeting to order. The mission is to educate and nurture a diverse learning community through the International Baccalaureate Program, World Languages, and Intercultural Appreciation to succeed in the global economy. We're going to record the attendance now. Karen Dwyer. Steve.
Michael Dunn.
Emily Thomas.
Carson Manson.
Wendy. Amy McKenna. Linda Ariano.
Anything else?
Grace.
Grace. Station. Grace Escobar.
Okay, first thing, we need to approve the minutes from our September 2024 Finance Committee meeting. Can I have a motion? Can somebody do that? A second? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Then we're gonna next do an update on, our, financial committee related matters. First thing on the agenda is the financial audit updates. I have a copy of the draft of the audit here, and, it's like 50 pages long. So if anybody wants to, take a look at it tonight, they can. We can shoot an electronic copy to anybody who wants to review it in detail. And, this is a draft mode. Jim White still has to review the audit final and put his touches in it. And, also, because of our vote today, they're gonna have to put another footnote in for subsequent events. And so, I will call Mindy and fill her in on the subsequent event, and she said it may take a couple of days for her to wait. In case you don't know, today we voted to withdraw our application for renewal.
Could I get a copy of that to make sure that it agrees with? I can just take that?
Yep.
Okay, thank
I
you.
got it electronically. Okay, are there any other, Emily, any other things for financial, audit update? Okay. The 990 reporting, they're gonna be working on that after they complete the audit, then they do the 990 from the, audit information, so that'll be done time. Next, we have update on line of credit. Emily, do you have anything on that?
With the line of credit, we had to provide additional financial, because it was up for renewal. So we will provide financials for the 23-24 school year until June 30th, and also an update of all the grants from the state. So I did submit all of that to Chris. I won't try to pronounce his last name. And I think the last email he said it got renewed with an extension or for another 2 years. the last payment will have to be paid is $4,000 plus.
So we're gonna pay that on? So, yeah, I don't know how we would reduce it, because we only pay against what we use. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we're gonna get rid of your insurance, right?
Yes,
So don't we
it would just be paperwork to, because it's not gonna be effective.
Okay.
Must have skipped something. No, I did. Financial, review the financial reports. Emily and Mike, y'all wanna go ahead and go over those?
Sure. Sorry. Trying to save paper for them. So through October 31st, there's a $65,000 surplus versus a projected budget at this point in time of $31,000 deficit. And I think the biggest thing that's throwing some of that off is, in September, the school got about 126,000 of state stipends, that haven't been expended yet, at least not. So, that's, once that goes through, and that has to happen before December 15th, kind of the income and expense will wash out. So I think that's the lion's share of the difference to the bottom line. The MFP is actually fairly close. Food service is slightly better than projected. And then again, like I said, the state stipends. On the expense side, salaries and benefits are below budget, and that was consistent with the last time we reported. I think a lot of this to do with just the timing of start dates versus when, how the budget was spread in the system. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. Property expenses was over fairly decent amount, and it says AC repairs. That was fairly big. Insurance expense is over, but that's really more because there's like an upfront payment on the insurance. Expenses are a little bit over, but again, there's a lot of upfront purchases of expenses. And then the other thing was, it looks like textbooks are over, actually over based on what was budgeted for the whole year. It was mostly Carnegie Learning and IB Source. So those were kind of some of those are like the bigger items on the expense side. Cash has gone up a bit since last time. I think a lot of the grants that were submitted for last year are probably getting paid off, or getting paid. So I think that's probably the biggest item, bringing the cash in. I think that's it from a standpoint.
Looking at the balance sheet, we still have money in any bill clearing.
That's something that we're working to try to resolve with TEDOPS.
I have reached out to Annville to ask them about that, and also to request, since 2021, all our information, because all of the uploads, all the vendor payments were through Annville, and for that, they would have to pull like 100,000. So I'm still waiting for someone on their end to contact me to say, here's the process, and what would be the cost to get. They said it's about 250 for a year's worth of data. So 2021 up until now, it's 3 years at 250. And then also I have to reach out to Darius to get all the data from them for the years that they were doing our financials.
So when they transitioned over, they gave you a QuickBooks file?
QuickBooks was already out to Cindy.
I'm sorry.
QuickBooks belonged to the school.
So the detail isn't in the QuickBooks file? Because
Not
they
all-
use a separate accounts payable
Correct.
system.
Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, one of the things Emma and I had talked about months ago is like if you have to research something, you have to go to any bill, which is kind of crazy. So that's why you reached out to see if you can get the data, so we're not having to pay to keep access to that, you know.
Correct, yes.
Kind of crazy. This is the way it is.
Y'all understand what, okay.
I mean, shouldn't they turn that over to us when they transition? Like, why are we paying for it if that was their responsibility?
When we did ask that question of Darius said that was not his, it was ours.
The any of those stuff?
Yes, but then I've gone to look for information where we took on any bill, but there's nothing.
And any bill can provide some kind of contract?
That's why I haven't heard from
Yeah.
anyone, because I don't have a point of contact. But when we did talk with Darius, it was like, no, that's you, I just know you have to follow up.
Just, everybody's
But-
paying attention to it.
Right. But my understanding was we used Anybill because that was a software program that EDOPS was using to collect the data and to do the financial reporting. But
I think the same way you did. They
Yeah.
told us that was what they were
Right,
using, we
correct.
needed to do it, yeah.
But Darius made it very clear when we met, he and Dr. Berger and I, that that is something that the school has to do. And so that's why I'm going back and forth with Anybill to get someone to talk to me to release the funds back to the school.
Is there anyone still doing that apps?
So I've already spoken, Mike,
Yes.
with Mike about, when we get the financials, to get a detail of the accounts receivable and the accounts payable, so we can see who owes us money and who we're gonna owe money to. And then, I'm assuming, and let me double check this, that the prepaid expenses, that's prepaid insurance, right?
I think it was some power school stuff too, which is like a software stuff that's been advertised each month.
Okay. And then, coming down to the liability section, we have loan payable of, $140,000. Is that the SBA loan? Okay. Are we currently paying off any of the principal of that, or are we still just paying interest?
Principal and
Oh, okay. And then, the summer pay, I was surprised to see summer pay hasn't been paid out yet.
Yeah, I need to, that's one of the things I need to speak to Ed Ops is understanding some, what's in some of these payroll numbers on the payroll, so I'll have clarity on where they're coming from. And these increase salaries, summer pay, and
But with the summer pay accrual, the teachers, they're 10-month or 10.5-month employees, but they pay spread over 12 months. So that why we're still showing up there, because it's still July, that we're still paying them the money that they would have already earned in the prior school year.
When would you pay them at the end of the year?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So this way, instead of them just getting paid through May 31st, they've opted to like also then spread out their pay until July,
Okay.
until their next pay for the next school year kicks in with this. So I'm just wondering whether EDOPS is still recording it because it was paid in July.
there was some paid in July, but yeah, that, all these accruals, I need to have a discussion with them about, yeah.
Okay. Because with our decision to pull our charter renewal, we're gonna have 6 months to close out all the financial matters of the school. And so that's one thing that we should discuss tonight, where do we get started with that? So it's gonna be very important that we know what our liabilities are and that we have the cash to pay them, like, at any moment. Because by the end of the year, we have to be down to zero cash, zero liabilities. And,
You don't have to.
well,
You could have cash, but, you know.
that's right. We
You
don't know what we're
You don't
gonna do.
necessarily want to be,
We're gonna discuss what we're gonna do with any excess cash.
well, if I could just make a
Go
comment?
ahead.
So I've recently gone through with a school that closed.
That's right.
They're not a type 2, they were type 1. There's a lot of costs for closing out too. My recommendation would be that we put together a revised budget, given all the new information we have. Plus just anything else we know about enrollment, regular operating, and try to do like a budget for the next 6 months, or, you know, and then figure some of those in. You're gonna have to pay for an audit, you're gonna have to pay for a whole bunch of other things, you know, that are typically we go into the next school year. And I don't know what the state requires different than the district, but the district require a lot of legal fees involved and things like that too, so, I can share some of that, you know.
Okay.
But that just, if that kind of gets to your point about cash flow, I think we should really just say, this is where we are now, and where we're gonna be for the rest of the year, looking at both the P and L as well as, the cash flow, you know.
Mhm.
So then you can have a better idea of what kind of cash there will be in an ideal world, and then figure out what you're gonna do.
Exactly. It really helps that you've got experience on.
It's not the type of experience I like to have, but I have it.
Yeah, one of my questions somewhere on the agenda was about revised budget. Because we do now have our October count, and we know what we're gonna get paid for later on, so we probably need to adjust for the October count, because I think we were guesstimating about 405, and we're at 389 student count.
We did the budget at 395, and as of
Okay.
10/1, our student count number was at 375. I did the quick math on that. That was less than 5% with the changing numbers. So with that, yes, I would agree that we do a revised budget, but it doesn't have to go through another whole process of approval, because it's under 5%.
Under 5%, okay.
It just seems to me at this point, given what's happening, you really wanna have a really good, I mean, I hate to say it, you're gonna have a deficit, because you're probably gonna have closeout costs and things like that, more than likely. But I don't really think that matters, quite honestly, just wanna make sure you have cash.
Right, it's all about having the cash to pay off all of our responsibilities.
Right, and if there's surplus, what might you do?
Mhm.
Other schools have done things like retention stipends, make sure people stay on. So, you know, like those are the type of things we can look at when we're revising that budget.
Okay, so we need to, make a recommendation to the full board, vote to make a recommendation to the full board that they accept the October, financial statements. Can I have a motion?
Can I ask one quick question before we move?
Sure.
You guys just renewed insurance policies? Recently?
Benefits
Or like, probably either,
Yes.
which one?
Or,
All of them?
yes.
I would ask that you look at the policies to make sure that you can get some of that cash back, because you're not gonna be insured for the policy period. So,
You guys go through the calendar.
Right.
Yeah,
And
so you're gonna
that's-
need to get what they call tail insurance, which is insurance.
that's
tail
another,
insurance.
or umbrella,
Yeah.
for anything's after the fact.
I mean, just for what it's worth, this other school used Gallagher and they got refunds.
We do, we use it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some policies make you like pay 50% of the policy, it's not refundable, and then the rest you can recover once the insurance policy closes. Or, you know, it's just a thought, like, some
What's
cash
the policy?
might be out there. that we can
Is it
Right,
like
it
how was it?
could be a source, yeah.
Yes, like August.
Yeah, so it's probably not gonna be too big a difference. Yeah.
It's like August, an effective date of August 1st through July now.
Okay, so I know we're
September through August. And I think this is something that I also mentioned to Dr. Broker, is getting a letter from legal that we could use to like notify all our vendors, and that we have to break the contract. Because I don't want them to come back and say, well, you're violating your contract agreement that you've got to go through years, or, because there's some of the services we have that it's more than a year. But if I had something.
We've already like outlined what those contracts are, like have a list of those contracts, so that the attorney can review them to see if there's any legal verbiage that can get us out of it.
Okay, so we have a motion before the committee to recommend the October financials to the board for their approval. I got a motion, I got a second? Second. Any discussion?
Right, to recommend, October financials, is that what you said?
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I skipped ahead, we did the audit already. We're at development. Can we get an update on the grants? On these
There
papers?
should be something in your packet with the grant funds that we have received so far. I haven't been able to really find a list of what grants were applied to, last year for this coming year, but we've gotten some grants that were applied to, in the summer. So recently we got the New Orleans Tourism and Cultural Fund grant, for our jazz class. So right now, it looks like we've received about 68,000, nearly 68,000 in grants. I don't know if any more come in, because like I said, I wasn't able to find the list of what was applied for. But we'll be, I'm keeping track of these and then like, just for reporting purposes. So we'll have to close it up by the spring.
Okay, would you like to go over the most recent activities in development, upcoming activities, and future activities?
Yes. So, I started almost 2 months ago. It was very busy, as soon as I started, so we had our fall open house. We attended, the team and I attended about 11 high school fairs, for enrollment. And then, me and Cantrell came right before Thanksgiving break, so, I led, the coordination and logistics for that. Starting an alumni spotlight series, so we started with, I emailed Darren, so I didn't know if you.
I didn't get the email.
You need the email? Oh, I sent it to the IHS one, because I don't have your other one. You didn't get that email?
I
Ah.
was about to be, my email earlier.
Okay. I'll
It
let
could have
you
been
get
a
the
student email from when he was a student.
Oh,
Sometimes
Michael,
that
accidentally
happens.
did that. You're right. Because I just typed in your name and it just popped up and I wasn't paying attention. That's probably what it was. So, I only just sent it, so you're not late. So I want to do you next for this month. I don't know if y'all noticed when y'all came in, we had new signage or the Vigo on that. So we have banners up, the marquee, we have a new marquee, and then we have door decals like vinyls on our doors. So upcoming, I drafted the alumni appeal, because I don't know if we wanted to send out a solicitation letter to our alumni, this year or next year, to help raise funds for just different programming for our students. I sent you guys a draft, I don't know if you got it.
But I don't think I'm understanding you, because I'm having a hard time hearing
Oh,
you. The pitch of your voice doesn't go with my ear, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But you said you did the alumni appeal letter?
I sent a draft, I drafted up an alumni appeal for you guys to review before we sent it out. And I think I don't have an alumni list, so we would have to find like a database.
Yeah, we're still waiting on the class from 2020 to now. Never got those yet, so reach out to them.
Okay, 2020. And, but you guys have the rest of the list? Okay.
Up to 20, right?
Okay, 2019. Okay, so, if you, I'll send you guys the draft of the appeal again, I sent it to Karen and to Grace. I'll send it again, I'll send it to you. So you guys can review it, and then if you want, we can send it out,
Okay,
is it mostly emails?
I read it and it was beautiful. So Grace, when you're ready to give her the approval on it, just go ahead.
And then we can like email it out, and then we can use that for our students for this, the remainder of the school year. And then, I'll try to find, I did go to the Greater New Orleans Foundation right before Thanksgiving break as well to do some research on grants and different foundations. So I'm gonna try to find some that we can use for, like, just the school year. Most of them would be for the future, which we wouldn't be able to, at this point, apply for, but I'll see if there's any kind of resources or anything for, that is more quick that we can use together.
Future events?
That's future events, I don't have anything upcoming at this time, except for, I was gonna reach out to you about the community fair. Probably, because we were thinking like springtime, right, April, May, so we probably need to start.
Yeah. What was the date? It was that one, right?
April 4th?
April 5th?
Oh, 5th.
So we were doing it right now.
We have a holiday party coming up, for faculty, is it for faculty in board? So it's next Saturday, December 14th, from 7:30 to 10:30 at UNO's Alumni Center.
Where?
UNO's Alumni Center.
We'll send the invite as well to you guys, so that way you'll have the information. And you're welcome to bring your guests.
Say it again.
Oh, no, I'll go hockey.
Oh, you can't.
Yeah, I'll next time.
Oh, nice.
Did you resend me? I don't think.
I might
I
have
know you
also,
sent it to
I
me.
probably also sent it to your student account.
I still use it 6 times. I'll never shut me out of it, so that's where all my spam
Well,
stuff.
never
goes.
shut you out.
So I just, if there's something I don't wanna follow me, I just send it to my student.
I think that's all I have.
Okay, my question to this committee is, do we need to create a separate fundraising committee, or do we want to work this committee as the people who are planning this April event?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I think we're gonna need to meet more often, and it might be easier to be virtual than to have a full, official committee, to make sure we reach our milestones.
Right.
Our first one, because I forgot to send out reminders to everybody, I'm so sorry. So yeah, if it's like a smaller one, then I guess it'll be easier for us to be able to update everybody and get together. If everybody wants to still be on it, that's fine, but
If it is, still, if it's more than 2 board members, it has to be, open to the public.
as an official committee, right?
But
But that's why I was
is-
saying maybe not
is
an
that-
official committee.
Is it more than 2 board members, or more than, you have to have, less than a majority to, for,
It's more than 2 board members.
I thought it was 4. Okay, check, but I thought it was 4, and I thought, see, like, this committee has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members. So if 4 members of this committee show up, we have to have an open meeting.
But it's about the number of board members together, not necessarily community.
Oh, okay.
So it's 2 or more, I'm gonna verify that, I think it's 2 or more,
I think it's,
more than 2. It's more than 2, you have 2 board members, but, more than 2. Coming together for an official business for a meeting, then
to post them as an open meeting. And a posting has to go on the door of the place where you're meeting, which I always thought was really strange, because when we have meetings at my office, I can post it there and don't have to worry about it. But we always post here and there anyway. So, the meeting would have to be posted, online and on the door. With, 24 hours before the time, so if it's at 5:30 this day, it's gotta be at 5:29 the day before you get posted.
And, yeah, I think we should keep it at 2, but that's board members, so that doesn't mean that staff cannot participate and be a part of that committee to help those 2 board members out.
We need a chair. I think we did this last year too, when we volunteered Grace. I'm not doing that this year. I'm not volunteering it.
She did so well. It ain't broke, ain't
Can somebody please volunteer, even if it's a temporary chair, till we can meet and vote on a new chair? Thank you. You see, you sit close to me, your arm twisted.
So, the chair for the community fair,
Unless you want it. We're gonna be co-chairs. Everybody. Sparks and I are co-chairs.
Don't worry, Grace is like really good to work with. If you get some kind of computer thing to do, you
No,
just
it's
call
fine.
it and it's done.
Yeah.
It's like she just thinks about it and it's done. Okay, entertain public comment, anybody have anything else they wanna bring up or throw out on the table?
The alumni, well, it depends on if people's recognizing or not. We have Valentine's Day, we have a Valentine's Day party fair mostly. And then that's mostly to garner attention for our official reunion that we're hosting in March. So there is a reunion in March, March 8th, at Operation Sparks Building on, Franklin. If you're all familiar with that location, it's like 415 or something, Franklin Avenue. And that, both of those are intended to be fundraisers. The Valentine's Day one might not make much money, we might end up using all of that to provide stuff. But the reunion was intended to put real money the school needs. So, and it'll be in March, so we'll still have maybe 2 months to do something with that. So maybe we could do something for graduation, whatever the board wants to do with it, because that's our alum donation to the school. So it's for whatever y'all want it for, but it could be, you know, big graduation, something special for the teachers, or really whatever the board decides. And then, but yeah, that's kind of like our intention is that we're really getting portion. And then, yeah, so that's our 2 things that we're doing right now.
And Grace and I have had discussions about, even though our charter is ending, actually our alumni association does not have to end, because they can still function as a finite group now, because it's not gonna grow any bigger, but they can all still keep their connections to each other and to the school through the alumni association.
So we're building like a community, essentially, like what Ryan did in there or something, was putting businesses together for alumni, if you have a business. And so we're kind of like, alumni on Wall Street, sort of, where you just go in there, if you need something, 9 times out of 10, there's over 1,000 alums, somebody like has services for everything. So we got like repairmen, mechanics, makeup artists, photography,
chair of the board has to be present at the place stated. So if you decide to have a meeting at your house, you're there, you stated it if you're the chair. You know, so wherever the meeting is, you know, you have to be if you're the temporary chair.
Okay,
Okay? But everybody else can zoom in.
okay.
That's the way I understand it.
So
If we
if
find out
I-
anything different, we'll let you know.
Right, like if I'm hosting a meeting at my office, I would have to post it inside my office.
Yeah. I post them outside my office. And then it gets rained on and.
Yeah, but I still suggest that only 2 members speak on one item, because when you open it up, you got, these other folk that's gonna come join the meeting, that you don't want to be at one of the meetings. So really think about that, so that's why I'm saying, staff can still be a part to help you out, but no other board members.
That'll be tough.
So, yeah, you and I meet, and then we set up the.
And update everybody,
Yeah.
what you need from us, yeah.
Mhm.
Totally.
All right, so that was entertained public comment. Our next meeting date is gonna be December 18th at 5:30. And we're meeting before the board meeting so that, we can, approve the audit and then make a recommendation to the full board to adopt the audit so it can be submitted to where it needs to be by December 31st.
And when we have a new budget, or revised budget by then?
I think that's kind of tight, because that's not, you know,
When's the next meeting after that?
I didn't go that far.
Oh, I was just curious.
Perhaps we might want to consider, this committee meeting more often than, every other month. We already have several meetings toward the end of the year, more than all the others, but if we start meeting once a month, I think it would be productive. Anybody else got an opinion on that?
Looks like the next finance development meeting is January 22nd.
Did you hear that right? January 22nd, she said. If we're meeting December 18th and then January 22nd, we can make a decision January 22nd if we need to meet sooner than the next one, rather than trying to lay out a bunch of meetings that we gotta change.
It will only be added in February meeting, so after that it's March, April meeting.
Okay, with that, anybody want to make a motion to adjourn? Linda just moved, not very loudly. Second.
Motion to adjourn.
Anybody want to? Okay, Darren, second. All in favor?
The community first, people first.
That's the,
grandkids, I can barely. I can hear you. I can barely hear Grace when she talks, but
You get-
kinda,
Which one? Oh, wait.
I know the way she talks, I can,
This
you
one or
know.
this one? The first one?
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
I actually sent it to you.
I hear person very.
So then, this is the letter. And then I'll forward the other one.
Are you staying for the facility?
Yeah, do you need me? I got another one here.
Okay.
I know, sometimes I work from home.
I don't know, I didn't bring the facility, but Sarah's in charge of the facilities. And I'm not on it, I just stay because I'm here.
Thank you. Okay.
I don't really just stay, because I'm already here. No. For sure not on that one.
So then should